Hello again, and we're back at it. As you can see, we haven't really changed. We're at 646 prestigium, which means we're still on 18 seconds, fortunately. I do approve of such things. We are going to be building this up some more. At maybe 16 minutes, I think the number might be. I thought it was 18 minutes last time. It definitely wasn't. We are at 34 billion, which means I can click this button. Nice. Only because we're not going to have 44 million for a long, long time, so I'm not going to bother with that for the moment. I don't know why I'm bothered about trying to get this to max out. It just seems like an idea. Why not? So yeah. But we now need 50, right, to establish our island. Or continue to establish our island. Yes, continue to establish our island. So it's going to take a minute, right? I don't know how much we actually are going to end up needing. But I've learned from playing this game that, you know, keeping a stash of prestigium is the way forwards. Oh, we're already there. I should press that button then, shouldn't I? Silly Billy. Silly Billy. But now we can spend... Can we? We probably can spend some of our silicon. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, probably. It probably makes sense to. Hang on, let's have a look. Right. 44 billion, 11 billion. But this is 44 million, so it's probably not worth it, is it? Realistically, it's probably a bit much. How much do we need of this? Not much more. I might as well just wait on this page until it's ready. There you go. Right, thank you. Thank you, game. Thank you. Oh, thank you, game. Thank you. I mean, I wonder if what number this goes up to. Does this stop at 100? Does it not stop? Can you just keep getting more titanium? I don't know. I just don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. Or we won't, depending on how quickly it gets to the point where we're already done. Oh no, it's not die. You have to do that and then I blow up my... So you move as I get my lighter ready with the fire on it and everything. And because I'm trying to commentate, I blow it out with my nose. Foolish. I mean, it's not so bad. It could be worse, I suppose. Could be much worse. I could have set fire to my face, which may or may not have been a good thing. So I suppose we might as well upgrade some of these things in here for a bit, because why not? It's not like we don't have the income for it. And it's not worth trying to boost our distance, because we've got trillions of light years that we have to make up to get the next upgrades on the left in the middle bit, or the left hand side of this particular tab. So yeah, that's a thing. My flat is very warm. I've yet to wire in my heat cooling thing. It's like an ionization cooling fan. You have to put water in it and it cools everything down. And there's frozen things that you can put in there to make it get even cooler if you want. Just not sure I want to do that yet. I probably need to reread the instructions and make sure I know how to use it before I turn it on. Because I don't want to, you know, break it or set fire to my house, which would be ironic considering it's supposed to cool things down. Setting fire, using it, and it sets fire to the house would be pretty rubbish. I don't think that's likely, I'll be honest, but you never know. So yeah, that's a thing. Yes. Yes. pressing buttons, apparently. That's all it's about. There we go. Ah, 664. We're nearly at the magic number of the not number of the beast. So, if you believe the superstitions, the number of the beast is 666. But the reality is the number is 616. I heard it off Stephen Fry on QI. I don't know how true it is because I haven't studied the actual numbers from the Hebrew, but that's what I was told, and therefore, because I can't be bothered to look it up, I'm going to take it as read, because why not, right? But, you know, I mean, it's a lot. It's a big number. I don't even know why it's such a bad number for people, honestly. Why is 6 such a bad number and 7 is fine? 6 is more pretty than 7, isn't it? Right? And 8 is just infinity when it's not drunk. Because drunk 8 is infinity because it's got no legs, it falls over. I'm not sure that's actually how it works, but that's the way it works in my head. I've decided. You watch, right? What will happen is we will build a massive place for us all to live in on our fancy ship, and then it will build another ship that we have to send back home. And it'll be like, really? But you limited my speed. I don't want to go at 1.337 kilometers a second when I was going at billions of light years a second. It would make the return journey too easy, I suppose. I mean, I'm making an assumption that there's a return journey. I don't think there is. I just like the idea of there being a return journey and it going, oh, well, as you've got to go home now, we will just unspeed cap you. And be like, oh, thank you. It's very kind of you. $35.9. God. I don't think we're going to get to 40% this episode. I'd like to get to 40% chance, but I don't think we will. I think the game is too tight for that. How dare you demand 40%? Oh. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought 40% was a reasonable number. Oh. It's annoying. Oh, of course you did. Every time. Right. As soon as that does its thing, it goes yellow again. I'll move and I will apply some titanium to our aluminium production. Doink. Let's have a look. 8 minutes. Right, yes. Still a ways away. Takayuki. Miraya Takayuki. Takaugi. It's probably Takaugi, actually. U is a British pronunciation of the vowel, whereas U is the Japanese one, so it's Takaugi. It did tell me what the name of the song was. Plastic Love. It's gone out now. Properly gone out. By properly gone out, I mean I've run out of cigarette. It's faulty. So we want to get to around about 750 before I spend, because we need to spend 50, right? I mean, we're going to get a whole bunch when I press the water button. Give us 10 minutes worth of resources. I wonder whether or not we're at 17 seconds yet. Let's have a look. We are at 17 seconds. fan Dabby Dozy. I'll be honest, Japanese music, for the most part, seems quite 80s to me. I don't know that that's a fair representation, but the stuff that I get to listen to because of YouTube and the playlists people put together, I keep knocking the mouse, can you tell? They all seem very 80s to me. 36%. It's good. Not much higher than 1 in 3, but it is higher than 1 in 3, and I approve. I approve of this message. So what is that, 7 in 20? Just over. Let's have a look. No, still a little ways to go. 85 seconds or something. Yeah, it's like synthesizers and drum machines in this particular song. Some stringed instruments just to throw in on top. It's very 80s. Wait, she's in a bar, she went to the loo and she left her earrings there. Who does that? Oh, we can press the button. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ping! 725, we're down to 16 seconds worth of... That's really good. That's making a lot more progress for us. There we go. That was good. 36.4. Nice. Much like. So we need 65 million or 65.5 million iron, which is a lot. I mean, it's always been a lot. All of this stuff is a lot. What can you do, I suppose? Apparently I'm back onto Australian music now. Australian. If you want to speak proper Ocker, mate, gotta make sure, if you don't want to speak Ocker, you gotta make sure your mouth doesn't open too far, otherwise flies will get in, you know? It's just one of those things. I can't sing it though. I mean, I probably could actually, because I've got some Australian music on at the moment, and I could probably learn how to sing along in their accents. I think that's probably a sign of me being slightly mentally unwell. The ability to use different accents is a sign of ADHD, I've heard. I don't know why, but there is a correlation between people who can do accents and people who have ADHD. So a friend of mine with autism and ADHD was telling me. I have no reason to disbelieve her, because when I've read about this somewhere, and I said it to her. I said, "So you wouldn't believe what I read," and so I told her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing." And I'm like, "Oh yeah," and funnily enough, she has a very, very apt skill with accents, which is quite funny. So me and her quite often go places and we pretend we're from different countries. Just and so we'll drop a thick accent on from say Ireland or Jamaica or whatever, and then we will just chat and chat and chat, and people will think that we're from that place, which is really funny, or at least we find it really funny because we're children apparently. No, but it's good because rather than just sitting there and come on game. Oh, I was a little bit early. Yeah, but rather than just sitting there and having to put up with random people trying to interrupt you when you're on a night out, trying to have fun, catch up and whatnot, you can put on these accents and people are just sort of like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So what were you expecting? Not that. I was like, okay. So what are you two, a couple? No, definitely not. We're friends. We're travelling. You have very good English. Well, you have to. We learnt it off the TV. And then obviously, you use like American vowels mainly, rather than British vowels, and then nobody is any the wiser. Unless you're using Welsh, of course, then you have to use Welsh vowels. And, it's funny that way. So, we were out one night, and a friend of mine, her boyfriend turned up, who's from New York, and because I do quite a good sort of Bronx accent, or maybe it's a Harlem accent, too much listen to Wu-Tang Clan, right? She was like, you have to do your American accent for my boyfriend. I'm like, which one? And she was like, do your New York one. I was like, why? And she was like, he's from New York. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. So I did it, and he was just like, so you sound like you were born in, and he tells me a particular road, and I'm like, no man, I'm from England. And he was just, his brain melted on the spot. It was brilliant. Just watching, he was like, but it sounds like you grew up there. And I was like, well, thank you very much. I probably need to practice it a little bit more. It's been a minute since I practiced. I used my first Stardew Valley series as a form of practicing certain accents. Not all of them, because most of them that I was already really good at. But my Cornish wasn't as good as it was by the end of the series, and neither was my Scouse. My Scouse accent, so Sam's family, like Jodie, Kent, Sam and Vincent, right? When I first started, I was really struggling, and switching between accents was always tricky, right? Whereas now I can switch between the accents much more comfortably without really thinking too hard, which is pretty fun. Although it certainly screws up people. Like, so another friend, I was out with this same friend, right? And the person who had introduced me to this friend of mine, she was sitting with us and we were playing with accents, and she came to sit with us, and because we were just jumping from accent to accent, and her head just couldn't take it because she's so used to us speaking in English that when we're using other accents and we just keep it going because we can, she was like, I just don't know which is the real accent anymore. It was funny. Poor girl. She was having a mini meltdown, but based on the fact that we were not abusing her ears, but you get the idea. It wasn't really fair on her ears, I suppose, would be the only way to describe it. I mean, it was reasonably fair, I suppose. Marginally, moderately. Yeah, look at that. 36.6. We're getting there. Oh, actually, I'm going to have a look over here for the marginal increase. Well, we're nearly there, though. And it's at 15... Oh, it's 15 seconds now. I don't want to press the button now. That seems not fair now. I mean, I'm going to, but I don't want to, because 15 seconds is going to drop us to 16 again. Takes so blooming long. I mean, to be fair, we started at 650 or something. I mean, it wasn't 650, I don't know. 640, I think we started at, because I waited until the end of the episode to press the button, right? I'm not sure what that did. I think it just made it flow more. But now we're down to 17 seconds, right? 17 seconds. We were at 15. I'm distressed by such things. Only marginally. And it'll be back up to 16 in no time, I'm pretty sure. But now we need to spend 60. So we'll see how far we get. Is it one more tick or two more ticks? What do you reckon? For titanium. Let's have a look. 2 more ticks. But fortunately, it ticked as I went and pressed the tab, so that's alright. Well, we are slowly making improvement. We might even be able to upgrade the 16 silicon per click button before the end of the episode. I would like to think that would be a thing, but I don't know for sure. Yeah. Now I'm going to have a quick tour around the helium tab in a minute, because this is at 3 million, right? Okay, 44 and 3, 11 and 44, and yet I think I'll reach this one before I reach this one. Irony. So that's good, right? That's that. We're not going to fiddle with that. It's just not going to be worth the effort at the moment. We can't click this, sadly. There's no clicking allowed. But yeah, 36.7%. We're there. We are not far away. We're 10 million away from getting our next titanium yield increase. And we're already at 709 prestigium, which is good. I'll have a look, actually. I meant to have a look. See if we've hit 16 seconds again. I'll have a look in a second or two. There you go. Yeah, 16 seconds. I can live with that. I mean, I can't. It was at 15 and now it's not, and I'm a little bit upset. Only marginally. Because number must be bigger, number must go up quicker. Although we did beat the speed. Like, we got so fast that the game broke in that regard. It was like, no, you can't go any further, you cannot go much faster, you must stay still, how dare you. I was a little bit upset by such things. Yeah, all along the watchtower, the Bear McCready version. I do really like this version. It's from Battlestar. Well, he redid it in order to tie it in with Battlestar Galactica somewhere. That's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't want to ruin the series for you. But it was amazing, absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's such a good series. Like, I liked the original when I was a kid, but it's very 80s, very kitsch, but it is good, right? But then the remake, I can't remember when it was done, 2006, 2010, something like that, I can't remember. It was around the era of the writers' strike, the big one that screwed up Lost, and it kind of had an effect on Battlestar Galactica, but it's such a good version of it, and, you know, thoroughly well written, all the way through, and so you should watch it. If you find yourself looking for something good to watch, it's science fiction, so you might not enjoy it, but it's really good. Like, I cannot recommend it enough, is what I'm saying. 770. Okay, 7740. There we go. So 7.8, I'm guessing. I didn't look. I just pressed the button and moved away. Silenti. That's right, it's in Latin. Oh dear, I really shouldn't be allowed to have access to music. Yeah, we're at 4 billion. I don't know that we're going to make it to 16 billion, if I'm honest, but, you know, we can try. There's no reason not to. Except for, you know... Goddamn lighters. Yes, this light has basically had it, I think. I mean, I could be wrong. It might just be that it needs more gas. We can do such things about it. I have the technology. And I can do it without actually losing much income. See? Look at that. Oh yeah, it needed gas. It gave it a good old squirrel. And not Roman Special Forces. SQRL. Roman Special Forces. No. Don't know. Maybe I need to change the flint as well. At that point, it's starting to become... Well, I don't know. I mean, I've used it for a week or so, so it probably needs a new flint. Because flints don't cost very much compared to buying a brand new lighter. Because a lighter's £1, 6 or 7... I think it's 5 flints cost £1.50. It's worth it, right? Oh, that was quite a big expenditure. But we're up to 71 now, which is nice. Sorry, I got my toes stuck on the cables and it was weirding my feet out, so I had to jiggle and it caused the mouse to move in a random way. Not that you needed to know, I just thought I'd tell you. Yes. As you've noticed, this is much more of a stream of consciousness style stream where I'm just blethering on about random stuff and, you know, maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't, who knows, not me. Right, I can press the button, right? No, I cannot. I need 2.155 million iron. Now I can press the button. Ha ha ha, game, very funny. And what's even worse is this cigarette is not staying lit at all. It should stay lit. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I think it's because I'm talking so much, if I'm honest. Alright, yeah, I hear you in the back there. I could just not talk. Tee-hee. In sonor silenti. So stupid. So stupid. Right, let's press this button. Let's have a look. We're still at 16 seconds. But, you know, we're getting close to 1 every 4 seconds now. Oh, sorry, 4 every 1 second, not 1 every 4 seconds. That's entirely wrong. As much as I like that song, I'm going to skip forward. I don't want to listen to Nickelback either. If it's all the same to you, I don't mind listening to Nickelback, I just don't want to listen to it. Oh, this does not have a lyric version. It only has a video or an artwork, which is a thing, apparently. Can't Go On Without You, the live on 89.3, the the current, apparently. I can't remember who it's by. It'll tell me in a minute. Kaleo. It's good. It's good. It's very soulful. A friend of mine recommended it to me. It's quite nice. Although the picture they've used of him, it's him singing and playing the guitar, but you only get his face, and he looks like he's having a climax. If I'm honest, it's like sort of face. It's a very mini climax. He's definitely enjoying himself a bit too much, is my suggestion. Yes. You have to boil some pasta. Do you put salt when you boil the pasta, or do you just boil the pasta? I can never work out which is better. Like my mum always puts salt in the pasta. In the water when she's boiling it, that is, not that pasta itself. She doesn't make the pasta from scratch. I should probably learn that, but I don't have one of those pasta things. Pasta press. I wouldn't mind a pasta press. Apparently I'm getting quite cooky in my age. Like not more doughy and full of sugar. Actually, I'm getting less full of sugar and less doughy. But yes. Well, that reminds me, I need to fill out some paperwork. I hate paperwork. Did I mention I hate paperwork? I don't know anybody who likes paperwork, but I absolutely have to fill out some paperwork. It needs to be returned in a certain period of time. I hate deadlines. Do you hate deadlines? The thing is I work better under deadlines than I do without them. You don't give me a deadline. Actually, that's not true, because without deadlines, like Stardew, right? I've been playing it, I've been uploading it and recording it and whatever. I'm fine. I have no deadline. I suppose I do have a deadline, because I have to do recording by a certain amount of time, otherwise the episode doesn't go live on time. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, we're not going to hit. Surely we're not going to hit the 16.2 billion silicon that we need for the next upgrade down the bottom before the end of the episode. We're 32 minutes in. I mean, maybe we will. It just doesn't feel like we will. Alright, hang on. I have to have a look. Still at 16 seconds. Brr. So 15 seconds is 750 by the looks of it, or there or thereabouts. Which means if we don't want to lose out, we need to be at 810 prestigium, otherwise we lose out on the prestigium build-up, which is disappointing. Could you imagine if I'd have spent it all though? Like the amount of prestigium costs, and you watch, it'll finish it. Like we'll only need to get up to 100 or something, and I'll be like, oh, I could have just finished it off ages ago. But had we been waiting and building up the prestigium at the rate that I would normally spend, say, aluminium, oof, that'd be a problem, wouldn't it? Sorry, I shouldn't really make noises when I move like that, but I should probably use my whole body instead of just one part of my body. So I use my arm to move my entire body rather than using my entire body to move a small part of my body. I needed to adjust where I was sitting, essentially, but, you get the idea. Right, hang on, I have to have a look. Yeah, 15 seconds, look at that. Boom. So that's 4 a minute. That's good, right? So the next thing is 5 a minute at 12 seconds. Whew, it's going to be a long way away. That'll be next episode, I would imagine. If we're lucky. I don't know. I just don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, so we'll do the next Prestigium spend upgrade at the end of the episode, so we can get as much as we can out of this 15-second pop thing. That way we'll be closer to 14 seconds per instead of 15 seconds. Whereas if I got to 810, we would be at 15 seconds exactly, and then moving towards from the furthest point away from 14 seconds per. I think that makes most sense. Which is, well, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. But you know, the aim is just build up aluminium. I remember when we were struggling to build up 2 million aluminium. Now we're building up 7 million aluminium at a time, and yeah, it's getting longer and longer and getting more and more annoying. But I'm not in the mood for like that sort of hip hop, honestly. Booyakasha by the Redman. Whereas City Cook by Caravan Palace, I'm probably in the mood for, because it's like I can't remember the name of the genre. Electro swing, that's the genre name. I like electro swing. It's good. It's not my favourite one. My favourite one's by Octavia Rose. I can't remember the name of the song though. I'd have to look it up. It's such a good song though. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to tell you the name of it. Because I love it. It's a great song. I have the technology. I might as well look it up. There's nothing to stop me. And you might be interested in it. Octavia Rose. Lost in the Rhythm, I think it is. I'll just double check. Yeah, it's Lost in the Rhythm by Octavia Rose. Love that song. It's my favourite piece of electro swing, of all the electro swing that is available. There you go. Getting there slowly. The word is slowly. Yeah, 900 then must be around about. 900 Prestigium must be around about. That can't be right, because we've already hit where we need to be for 4 every 1 minute. So I was thinking 9 would be something. Maybe 9 is 6 a minute. Maybe that's where 10 seconds cut off is. I don't know. I really don't know. I've got no idea. The maths is not intuitive for me. Which is annoying. I like intuitive mathematics. Sometimes I can just see the answers. I don't have to think about it. But this is not one of those times. This is very much not one of those times. And that in itself is frustrating. Where are we? Well, I mean, we're in space. Do I want to listen to LA slang music? No, not really. What's this? This is the Wu-Tang Clan with Wake 'Em Up. I don't want to listen to hip-hop at the moment, thank you. Honestly, I'd much rather listen to Japanese music if it's all the same to you, but I don't know I've got any more stored, and I don't know that I can be bothered to go and find some right this second. Right, let's have a look. Where are we? Still 15 seconds. That's fair. We have gone up by one chalk, I suppose. Have you listened to the music style of funk? Phonk. It's quite good. It's quite good. It was all the rage on about 6 months ago on like TikTok shorts and whatnot. Right? Yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't have TikTok, right? But what happened is I was like, I found some stuff. I can't remember why, but it came across my feed in YouTube, and I was like, listen to it. I was like, this is banging. What is this? So I went and looked it up, right? And then I showed it to a friend of mine who is on TikTok, and I was like, have you heard this song? And he's like, oh, I have. You found the song? I was like, I found the song. He was like, this is amazing. I've been wondering what this was. And I was like, oh, right. How do you know it? And he was like, oh, it's on TikTok. It's all over the place. I was like, oh, right. Does that mean I'm down with the kids? And he went, well, probably, because I don't think anybody your age knows what funk is. I was like, oh, it's both damning and affirming at the same time. And then he just said I shouldn't be so old, it's my own fault. Which is probably accurate, if I'm honest. I remember it used to take us ages to even get to 2,000 titanium, and now we're getting titanium at such a rate that we're spending 4,000 and not worrying about it. Well, I say not worrying about it, but you know what I mean. It's less of a concern. See, I just spent 4,500 without even thinking about it. I kind of wish that the Prestigium would ramp up our other, um, like, elemental gathering efforts. I'm not struggling to think of the appropriate words. You are. No, like our harvesting of random elements from across the galaxy, well, solar system technically, like, would be, it'd be great if there was some sort of method that would help increase that rate. 37.4%. That's pretty good, right? The Blake Robinson Synthetic Orchestra. An unhealthy obsession. Oh, that's right. This is quite fun, this song. Hang on. I need to cough. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, not sure that coughing is actually the right solution. I'm drinking water. I just think because I haven't really used my voice today before I started recording, and I'm now at 1 hour 44 of talking. So I've gone from 0 to maximum in one go, and I've done it for 2 hours, and I've still got at least another hour of this to record. And I'd like to do an episode of The Bazaar as well. Obviously, I'm going to have to take a break after this episode, I would imagine. Unless I get really like tunnel vision and I just want to do another hour of this. But I don't know. It would depend on how I feel, because obviously you've got to get the best quality out if you're going to do it. So the song that I'm listening to now is called The Woods by Travis Brooks and Poor Man's Poison. I've mentioned Poor Man's Poison before. They're good. They're really good. If you like sort of country and western, like Americana, it's good. It's good. I thoroughly recommend it. I mean, I suppose I would. I recommend a lot of things. That's kind of what I do. I listen to music and tell you that I like this song over and over and over again. And maybe one day one of you will write back and go, yeah, I listened to that music because of you, and it was actually quite good. Who knows? You might not. I'm not going to sing along to it though. I kind of want to, but I'm definitely not going to, because nobody needs that. Although it's funny, I've sung along to a couple of songs over the course of several series, and I've never been copyright struck for singing along. I suppose it's because you don't hear any of the music, it's just me singing on its own, which may or may not be a nice thing, depending on how much your ears bleed because of it. Yes, that's a thing. I hadn't thought about that. Have I ever made your ears bleed, or is it just my dulcet tones that make you fall asleep instead? It's probably a bit of column A, bit of column B. Get the right thing. 37.5%. Ooh. We only need 25 more, and we can get to 40%. A whole 2 in 5 times we will get titanium. That's good. I like it. I don't think we're going to get all the way to 38% today, but you know. I got 801 prestigium. I'm going to have to check in a minute. Text. No, I'm going to check. Uno momento, por favor. 14 seconds. Door to door. Ah, yes. Rule 43. Chosen by Fish in a Birdcage. They are a good band. Mainly because I like double bass. And also because their songs are good. It's not my favourite one. I think it's Rule 34 is my favourite song by theirs. It's kind of salacious. I like it. It's lascivious, one might suggest. Somebody suggested to me that I was being salacious, and I didn't know what it meant, so they told me to go look it up. And I came back to them, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. You think I'm this, do you? And they went, yes. And I went, oh, well, I don't believe I was being lewd. And they looked at me and went, what? And I went, what? And they went, what does that mean? I went, lascivious. And they went, what? I don't know what that means either. And I was like, well, I'm going to file that under not my problem. And they very quickly told me that to stop being an arsehole. So yeah, I mean, apparently I only have my own self to blame in matters of these sort of things, but I kind of can't help it, right? Don't use a word at me and then expect me to look it up, and then when I come back at you with words in similar sort of gambit, you tell me off for being difficult, right? One might suggest you only have yourself to blame at that point. You know, like, because sometimes my friends use words I've not heard before, right? And I'm like, that's cool, what was that word? And then they tell me, and I'm like, cool. And then I try and incorporate it into my lexicon so I can use it, right? Because who doesn't like to become more vociferous? However, if you use a word that I don't know, and then I ask you what it means, you tell me to look it up, and I start using words you don't know, deliberately because you've done it, in order to test to see if you actually understand the word that you're using, or if you're just being difficult, right? You've only got yourself to blame. Because if you'd have said that word to me, and I said, I don't know what that word means, can you tell me please? And then you tell me, I'm going to be like, cool. And then I'll look it up anyway, just because that's what I'm like. I'm like, oh, so you know that word you used the other day? There's another one of a similar meaning. It's an identical meaning, but it's this instead. But no, apparently that's me being awkward and difficult and just annoying. I mean, to be fair, like, yes, that is a little bit me, right? But only a little bit. I'm not trying to be deliberately difficult. I'm just trying to be slightly difficult because you made it more difficult for me than it needed to be, right? I'm all about the free flow of information, and you are deliberately making it not free flowing. You know, mean, who doesn't want to have free-flowing information? Except for, those people trying to keep secrets, I suppose. I mean, that's my only assumption, is that it must be some sort of secret-keeping thing. Otherwise, you'd not have a problem with sharing the information. Admittedly, I'm not to be trusted in that regard, because I'm a YouTuber and therefore don't know anything anyway. Definitely don't take moral advice from somebody like me, because, what do you do for a living? I play computer games for fun on the internet, and sometimes people fall asleep to it, and sometimes people like it, right? Not to be trusted. Because if I had any real skills, people would be paying me for those instead. Not that I'm getting paid for this, don't get me wrong, I'm not. But if I ever get to the point where I'm being paid for it, I definitely shouldn't be trusted. Like, as a YouTuber, I get to have spicy takes about things I know nothing about, and therefore you should definitely not listen to what they are in any form of seriousness, even if I'm right. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even when I'm in the pub talking to my friends about stuff that I do know about, I still tell them that, just because I think it doesn't make it true. And what you should really do is not believe anything I say, and go in anything that actually takes your interest and makes you think, you should go off and double check that information and see whether or not it's actually right and whether or not you actually believe in it. And they look at me like, yes, but you're normally right. And I'm like, how do you know? And they're like, what? And I'm like, well, you think I'm normally right, and I appreciate that, but if you're not double checking my working and information that I'm espousing, then how do you know for sure? And they go, oh right, yeah. And I'm like, so it's like there's 30 natural human rights, right? According to the European Union, the Charter for Human Rights has 30 articles. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, no. And they're like, well, what does that mean? I was like, well, I can tell you which ones I believe in. The rest of them I'm not entirely sure I do. But also I don't remember them all. And, so when I used to teach sword fighting all the time, I used to teach from the Article of Human Rights, or the Charter of Human Rights, and I'd go through each of them and make them discuss what they thought about each human right and why they thought it. Because it's important to know what you're going to stand up for and what you want, right? And they'd be like, and which do you believe in? I was like, what I believe has got nothing to do with it. And they're like, what? And I was like, look, I'm teaching you these things so that you can make up your own mind, not have me tell you what you should be thinking. That's not why you're here, right? You're here to learn sword fighting and a methodology for thinking like a sword fighter. And in history, knights and samurai, for example, primarily, were considered to be not just warriors, but philosophers and leaders in their own right. But if you are unable to understand what you represent in terms of your own belief structure, how can you be a leader? Because, you're just going to flip-flop on everything. You'll see something and think it's not okay one day, and then you'll see the same thing and think it's okay the next. And then the next day you'll see that same thing a third time and go back to your first day position, right? And that doesn't send out a strong message of leadership. What that says is, corruption's okay one day and it's not okay the next. And, if you don't believe that corruption's a good thing, then corruption's not okay any day. And they were like, oh. And then it came a cropper one day, because I was in the pub talking to this group of people, and I mentioned that, I discuss it with my students. And one of the people, she said to me, oh, so what are they? And I was like, what, all 30? She was like, yeah. I says, I don't know. I know what I believe in, and I can't remember all of them because I don't believe in some of them. But even then, I read it from the book, and it's not about what I believe when I'm teaching them. And she went, oh. I went, what? She goes, that's actually quite good. And I went, really? And she went, yes. I went, why do you think so? And her friend started laughing, and she looked at me and went, "Oh, I see what you did there." I went, "No, no, no, I was being serious. Why do you believe that my methodology of teaching it is good?" She was like, "Well, because you're making them think for themselves." I was like, "Yes. What I believe is irrelevant. I know what I believe, and I know how I will behave in situations where I'm presented with these sort of decisions. But it doesn't mean that they should behave according to the way I would behave, even if they think that I'm a paragon of moral choices, which I'm definitely not." And she went, "That's quite a strong stance." I was like, "Actually, it's pretty sitting on the fence stance. Like, I'm not trying to make clones of me. I'm trying to make people think for themselves because it's important to their lives overall." And ironically, it turns out that almost every single one of my students has gone on to become quite forthright and capable and understanding of their own positions as well, which is lovely because I don't agree with some of my students' positions. I just don't. I cannot. They do not represent the sort of morality that I try and live by, which is, but it doesn't stop us from being friends or even me being able to teach them. It's because A, we're adults, and B, we're different, and we see the world in a very different way because I've lived a very different life from all of them. That's kind of the point, right? Well, not all of them, some of them, but the ones who I've lived the same sort of life as, believe it or not, they make the same invariably. Like there is some sort of level of difference, but it's marginal with the ones who have lived a similar life to me. So, I mean, one would say environment shapes your opinions, one would suggest. I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but it does seem to have an element of that. What can you say? If you spend your entire life getting peas thrown at you, you might have a problem with peas. Or you might just have a problem with people who like peas. It's hard to know. It's like, how come you end up being scared of eggs? Is it because every time you walked home on a Friday night, people used to throw eggs at you from a car? I don't know. It could just be that one day you woke up and you found yourself inside an egg because you'd been kidnapped by aliens and they were threatening to make you pregnant. Who knows? Yes, I'm back on that subject. I'm not. I'm avoiding it, actually. But there you go. It's just, who knows, right? It's all beyond me. I'm just a potato, as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm not technically a potato, but I'm not far off. Still 14 seconds, so... Everybody in the Sunshine Band by DJ Cummerbund. So he's taken a song from whoever it is, Casey and the Sunshine Band, right? And then he's just mixed in a whole bunch of other people over the top of it. So it starts off with Dio and Holy Diver over the top of Casey and the Sunshine Band. I can't tell you which song by Casey and the Sunshine Band, but that's the way I like it. I think it is. No, that's not the right button. That's the right button. Well, technically it is the right button. Not yet. It will be the right button soon, because soon, my pretties. That needs to go up a few more buttons. A few more. More, I say, more. Yes. But we've still got 20 odd seconds to go, so it's okay. I can live with it. I mean, I don't want to live with it. I want to just spend the money. You know I do. You know I can't help it. I'm like, button press, must press button. But I've learnt from the game. I've been taught. You don't have to press the button immediately. I mean, you do. You really do. So now it's on to Aerosmith. He mixes them together quite well. He does a few, does this DJ Cummerbund. It's good. It's funny. Right. 13 seconds. Oh, you are so game. It's time for me to stop and I have to press the button. I'm going to wait 1 minute until that gets up to 860 and then I won't mind so much. I mean, I will, but I won't. it's okay. It's slightly better, right? Means the episode goes on for a little bit longer, like a whole minute or something. But you know, worth. Oh, it's the song from Rocky. It's the Eye of the Tiger. Right, okay. Well, if you're going to make me, I'm going to get one more aluminium spend as well, because I can afford to. Get to 8 million, give or take, aluminium. There we go, right? Doink. That is 38% on the button. We press that, we get a house. Amazing. Right, well, thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye.